Come on, let's see. Let's see Tony Stills.
I had on a projector. I was on YouTube as we're on YouTube.
Okay, okay.
I was on YouTube. Hola
It's like,
mujer. What you eat?
25 in full effect. It is officially another calendar year.
I
Um,
know. It's a new year. It's the first day to the new year.
it
Al,
feels,
happy new year.
yeah, happy 25, yo.
Word, right? Well,
Yo, it's
according to this calendar, this is the new year. This is the start
right.
to the new year.
Exactly.
According to
Exactly.
this
Not even
calendar that we've
people
been
that.
following. But
Because,
what we're
like,
learning and what we
oh,
know.
I think people are slowly but surely learning that it's multiple ways happening in the world. So to be so bogged down by U.S. Systems and society is like,
Hey Curtis.
what's up? What's up, Curtis? Welcome, welcome. Happy 25. Yeah, I was just talking about that with my brother because he's like, "Oh, Happy New Year," and I'm like, I'm specifically telling people Happy 25 because I'm like, I'm waiting for spring, which I consider like the real New Year, and
So we could
people
pop out
get
and
confused
show.
by it sometimes. Huh?
I said so we could pop out and show niggas.
Right, exactly. Because it's like it's still cold. Like you hear, like I don't know if you heard that wind howling earlier. I'm like,
I
oh
did, and
no.
wait, hold on. I heard it hollering, and it pulled the shit out of me because I was outside. I was coming from the store. First of all, I wasn't even expecting it to be so cold outside because it's been kind of nice. So
Yeah.
I was pissed off about that. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, who told you? What the fuck? Like, why? But I should have known because that rain last night was crazy.
Listen, the way I was like, yo, thank you, universe, for solidifying my decision to stay my ass home. Because,
Imagine if we would have hit it last night.
oh, hell no. Hell no. No. I was like being nice and safe and warm at home at peace with my snacks and my wine. Like,
Because I finished my whole bottle of wine, and I was on the couch like knocked out, done for the night. That was it. I didn't even see the ball drop.
it was over. Girl, I haven't watched that in I don't know how long.
Me either. I woke up today though, and I went on YouTube to see if there was any replays. There was a replay on YouTube, so I
Oh,
watched it a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, it's still corny. Still corny. All right, it's cool.
confirmation, still, yeah, whack. But, um,
Hello, hello, everyone.
please,
Hello,
please,
happy New
get us
Year.
started. Happy 25. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome to
Take a little
Girl
step by
Talk with
step.
ToniSteelz and Luna Pearl. We here every Wednesday. We weren't here last Wednesday though. Last Wednesday was Christmas, and we was kind of like eggnogged out.
Right.
Probably a little lit.
That was time with family and, really just relax and take the day and
But we here
everything.
today. It's a first day to the new year, so we here. Having our girl talk, and there's been so much going on the internet, so much going on in the world. I just saw a report that a young man pushed a 45-year-old man into the tracks in front of a train, and there's a video for it. Oh, these things are so like triggering. Like when you first like back then you hear the news or you see the news in the newspaper. There's not necessarily any visual to it. You just hear the news and the news is being reported. But to see the visuals, it's like, it's like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I want to be seeing the visuals. I don't want to see
No,
the visuals. I don't think
I don't want
everything
to see
needs to
it.
be recorded and shown. Like, I don't necessarily want to see that. Seeing that
I'm
young man push that man into the tracks right before a train came was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it was ridiculous. So I saw
That
that
reminds
today.
me of
That was the first video I
what
saw today when I opened up Instagram on top of that. I was like, that's not how I want to set
no,
off
that
my
is not how you want to start it off. No, 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 no,
no.
no. That reminds me of that video of that who is it that got set on fire on the train
Oh
like a
yeah,
couple, and
set that
like
woman on
you
fire.
literally see a cop just strolling past it, just casually walking. I'm like, what is
Yeah,
happening
I want to
here?
see. I wanted to see like a full video of that because I wanted to see exactly like what was happening. Like why was it? A police officer should be trained enough to do something before the fire department shows up, right? They should be trained enough to be able to, put something on her, do something to help diffuse that fire.
Something, right? Do something, but no, dude was just like nothing was happening. It seemed. But that was a crazy scene. I was like, that was
West
triggering in
Cruz,
a second.
West Cruz, are you being funny? Is that? Are you being funny?
Mm,
It's funny. Talking about Godzilla just attacked Japan. You know what?
okay.
Appreciate the joke. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for bringing some comedy into the comments.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Thank you. But
Yeah,
yeah, the whole train situation, the subway. I just started riding the trains again back in I want to say October, November.
yeah.
Um, and that I miss the trains. Like I miss the trains. I just love being amongst the people, but at the same time, like what's happening in the subways is like, uh-uh, no. And I think at this point, like people have to be a little bit more mindful too of themselves and what they're doing. Like, why are you standing at the edge of the platform too? Like, we already know what's going on. There's a bunch of people walking these streets who are being reckless,
Mm,
and move your ass away from the edge of the platform.
yeah.
Stand back.
Yeah.
There are all types of signs telling you when the train is coming, which train is coming. You don't need to stand there looking for the train.
Nope. At
You don't
all.
need to do that. Those days are over. Stand back.
It used to be a joke where New Yorkers would be like, "Well, if you look down the tunnel, that makes the train come faster." Like, no, that's the easy way to get your ass pushed out on the tracks now.
Yeah, nah, that's not
Like,
a go. It's definitely
no,
not a
no,
go.
no, no.
Stand back. We should know better at this time too.
Yeah,
So for your own safety, you know what I'm saying? Stand back for your own safety. Stand back. Like don't stand at the edge of the platform. Don't
yeah.
don't make no sudden moves. Pay attention to everything around you. Yeah, pay attention to everything and everybody around you.
'Cause there's way too many unstable people in the city walking around like with intention to harm, which is crazy enough as it is. So yeah, don't give them a reason to make you their next victim.
Yeah, it said somewhere that the kid would slip some K2 or something like that. But unfortunately, like his life is probably going to be a wrap now because I don't think that's going to help him. I don't
No,
think that's
because
going to help him in any way.
I was just reading, I forgot where this was actually. Something popped up where like how they used to have trials for people that declared insanity for doing stuff like that, and they would get away with it. They would literally get away with murder for claiming insanity. But now it's like I think people are getting hit to, like that's like a cop out now. That's an excuse because I
Yeah, my
mean,
tablet want
uh,
to be acting like it want to work. Ridiculous.
is the episode coming up yet?
I'm about to check. It looked like that's what popped up. So let me see.
They were, yo, people like if y'all know the trials and tribulations we be going through to bring these episodes, it's some work out there that I don't think people understand because like the way that what is it, Google be working against us, YouTube sometimes be working against us.
And it's
Oh, it's my
still with the same thing. Can you see it?
it's still last I checked it was saying what was it 16 minutes to finish a re-upload and this one says dropped on it so hopefully that
6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Uh.
will
Well, we'll
but no
see.
go up. It's gonna be there, you know. And
We have a new
if it
episode
was
that's
up to
coming, guys and girls, and those who are in the chats. Yeah,
3 is coming.
yeah. Episode 3 is coming. Part 2 of the interview with Everyday BK, Urilla Cave. So
Yep.
yeah, we're excited about that. You know, upward,
Yep.
forward movement, 2025. We looking to do bigger and better. And you know, we appreciate you all just tuning in and tapping in with us, and you know, staying in tune with what's going on. If you're not, please follow at Girl Podcast Official,
Yep. Yep.
and stay in tune, join the conversation, all that good stuff. You
Yes.
know.
And just to make a note, because I just my sister-in-law, she gave me the best feedback today on our videos. And I'm like, where is that in the comment section of the actual videos? Like, not to say I don't appreciate hearing it now, but can you help the sisters out and drop the like and the comments on the actual video? And like, oh, you
Please.
want me to do that? Like, yes, yes, please and thank you. So we appreciate, any positive feedback, reinforcement on the videos and everything in real life, but you know how algorithms work by now. I think everybody knows that in order to get these things pushed and to grow,
Yeah, you be
we
fading in and out, Luna. What is that?
what? You know what? Let me bring this a little bit closer.
Like you say, fading in and out.
All right. So now I was saying,
Oh,
like,
that's better.
I think we all know how algorithms work by now. So in order to actually grow the channel and push the videos out to more people, we need y'all to interact on the actual video. Please and thank you very
Yes.
much.
I don't know why that's so hard for people. I don't understand. Like the video, comment,
It's just a click
share.
of a button. Just a quick
It's
click.
real easy as you watching it. Even while you watching on your TV, you could just scroll down and go to the right and like you know, even if you can't comment on your television, you can like. But now your phones and your televisions are in sync where you can actually have the conversation on your phone while you're watching on your television. Like it's everything is kind of simple and seamless.
Yeah,
It really is.
it's pretty easy now.
It's pretty easy. We don't have to make a fuss out of this. We could just make this simple. We could just give a like Luna said, we appreciate the feedback when you call us or text us, but we rather you in helping the show grow
Yes,
and helping more people see what we have to offer. We need you guys to actually interact with the work. You know, yay, you know us and you're proud of us. I thank you. Thank you. Show us how proud you are of our work and
right,
share it and like it
right.
and comment on
Yes.
it. That means more, you know? That means
Yeah,
more.
it means a lot. It means a lot. It definitely
So
means a
please,
lot. And
yes, we would like to be a part of the algorithm. So yeah,
yeah,
you know,
I
put us
mean,
in.
we not fans of algorithms because they be changing it every so often. So it's like you gotta like get hit to what they're doing all over again sometimes. But I think that part is pretty basic and consistent. That in order for things to grow, in order for the channel to grow, we need interaction. I think that part is like staying
We
consistent.
need your
So
interaction.
yes. Yeah. We need interaction. We need feedback, y'all. Give us the feedback. Give us the,
Yes, join the conversation. Like there's a reason why we're putting out this work. You know, is to have the public interact with us, to teach us as well, you know what I'm saying? And to have the conversation with us. This is one of the reasons we're putting these episodes out there. So in order to keep the conversation going, you got to leave a comment. You leave a comment, somebody else will see your comment and reply to your comment, and it keeps the
Yep.
conversation going. And it
Yep.
continues to help us build content to
Yep.
continue bringing stuff to you all that you want to talk about. So please, let's smarten up. The streets is watching.
The streets and the girls are watching,
The
yo.
streets is watching. Smarten up. That's my little segue because y'all already know I'm a hip hop artist. So there's a lot going on in hip hop right now.
Listen, yo, when I tell you your song's been like on replay in my brain that I used in the video, like I'm so serious. Like I was just walking around, I be even I king this all the time. You know?
No, I gotta thank the Most High for that. Ah, 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 ah. Yes.
Nah, that song is really a vibe though. I'll be just like, rocking out in my head, like, oh, ow. That's one of the tabs I have open.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I like that. I like to hear that. When I made that record, I was having fun. The first
It's
thing
so
I heard
fun.
was the la 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 la. That's all I heard, and that's all I had for a long time. I might have sat with that record for like 8 months.
Oh wow.
No lie. Cause I was like, nah, this gotta be it's a whole vibe. And that's where it was like, okay, I'll be vibing high. Okay,
Yes.
okay. It was just one of those things, like the more I listened to it, the more stuff started coming to me with it. But I sat with that record for like 8 months.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, and that was time well spent because it's a vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. I still vibe to it. I still have a good time, performing that record. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's definitely vibesy.
Definitely, definitely. Oh, and by the way, y'all go and check out my girl's performance at Sugar Bar, New York City. She closed out with her performance of she did Most High. She did a couple of other songs, so go check that out on her YouTube.
Yeah, that was fun. The official video, I think I'm gonna post the official video right here on YouTube. That Luna
Okay, okay.
shot. So y'all gonna see
Hey,
that right here on YouTube. I'm gonna put that up here. Once I dress it up a little bit more, I'm gonna throw that right up here. But yeah, that was fun. Shouts to Cream. Every year we either close out the Sugar Bar or we open up the Sugar Bar. At the top of the year, for his birthday, because he always celebrates his birthday at the end of the. Well, his birthday is the 31st. So
okay.
shouts to Cream for that. He always
Shouts to
anytime he
Cream,
call.
happy belated.
Say that again.
Yeah. No, I said shouts to Cream, happy belated to him because definitely.
Yeah, anytime he call, like Tony, I need you. I'm there. I'm there. From day one, from when we first chatted, from day one, like he's been a stand up guy from day one. You know what I'm saying? And you don't find many people like that in this industry. So anytime he call me, I'm there. When I need something, he there. So it's good peoples, good peoples, good peoples.
Yo,
House of Cream.
and that's what you need in life. Like I'm over the whole quantity thing. I don't need crowds of people. I need quality people in life. Like that's the only thing that matters now. Like
That's a fact. That's a
miss me
fact.
with the crowds, miss me with the whole big ass circle. No, no,
Miss
no,
me with the whole big ass circle. Yes.
no.
Miss me with that. Way too old for all of that. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying? Need a good one or two friends and I'm straight. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I'm straight. And at this one or two friends, we gotta be doing what we doing. We building, you know what I'm saying? We have a purpose in life and we are fulfilling our purpose. That's where I'm at.
that is so important. Like really, just if anything, when people ask like, "Oh, what's the resolution?" Like I don't really do resolutions because the whole thing, but purpose and intent, that's the
That's it.
whole vibe for the whole calendar year and beyond. For the rest of life, like just moving with purpose and intention.
Yep.
And even if the purpose is just and then even if the purpose and intention is just to enjoy life and relax, have fun, that's still a purpose. I had to learn that the hard way. Like, sometimes I get hard on myself for, taking a break, but it's because that break is needed. Otherwise, I get sick and I'm forced to take a break. And you don't like those breaks because they're not fun.
They're not fun at all.
It's like, yo, I'm
Like you're
miserable
behind
over
last
here.
week. I'm like, Luna, get some rest. No, I gotta get this out. Girl, if you don't go to sleep, you have to come to Staten Island to put your ass to sleep. Go to sleep. Go lay down. Go do something else. Rest your brain, girl.
Yo. Listen, I have learned the lesson because I don't want no more sick breaks. Those are not the fun breaks.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. This year, I made it clear I was being intentional. Here I am doing everything I said I do.
Yeah.
How I move is a what? This year we getting it popping.
Listen,
That's
it
it,
is.
and that's all.
And-
Tony jumping off planes this year.
Hey!
We jumping off planes this year. I think we need to set up a day like right in spring break. You know,
Oh,
that'll be the first one. You gotta warm me up. You gotta warm me
listen,
up.
we get warmed up. We get warmed
That warm me up. That'll be. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's that year. That's that year. We about to do a lot of shit.
up.
We wanted to do, but we ain't do. This
Listen,
that year.
it's the year. Like this is the year for living, like living well. Not
Living
just with
purposefully.
intent. Yeah, the purpose, the intent of just living well and just living in the purpose, like walking and living in the purpose that we feel we're here to do. 'Cause, you know, previous years moving around, like just feeling like I was going nowhere. Like
Just wandering, right?
busy. It was like busy, but I still felt like I was just, going through motions. Now it's like I feel like when I do something, it's because it's with purpose, and that is a game changer.
I'm with you on that, girl. I'm with you on that. I'm gonna share this live. I'll be right back.
That had to be a thing. I entertain the people with, you know, some snacks and drinks. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. This is not water. This is actually sorrel, but it is good for the blood and good for womanly parts. Okay, that's a West Indian thing. My Trini mom said, "Hey, drink this sorrel. It's good for you." I said, "Okay." But yeah, yo, 25, nothing but up, nothing but up. Make sure y'all subscribe at Girl Podcast Official. Make sure if you're on IG, you follow at Girl Podcast Official. And like we said earlier, make sure to interact with the content. All right, we're not doing this just to do it. We're doing this because it's with a purpose. So please and thank you. Interact. Leave a like. Press that heart button. Depending on the platform, it's different for everyone. But come on, y'all. We gotta grow. We growing in 25. We doing things. I mean, snacking a little bit. I'm actually kind of hungry, but I said, let me wait until this live is over before I sat down and got really greedy.
Yeah, I made some. I cooked today. I haven't cooked in a while, and I was cooking. I was like, "Damn, girl, you could cook." I
You
was
was
like, "It's
throwing
been
down?
a minute. It smelled good in here. It smelled good."
What you cook? What you cook, girl?
I made some wild rice, black beans, broccoli, and salmon.
All right,
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
like
forgot my
a
salad.
right
I usually
there.
like to have a salad on the side. I forgot my salad. I was like, all right, I'll just put some French dressing on the broccoli, and that'll be my greens.
Listen, however you get your greens, get them. That's important. It is important to get
You
them
see how
greens.
I'm laughing? That's how I was laughing at myself. I was like, you stupid. Just make the damn salad. Some lazy shit. Just make the damn salad. It's like, no, it's all right.
Oh, the broccoli is all right.
The
You like
broccoli
chicken
will do. The broccoli
sandwich.
will do.
Right. That works. That works.
I just realized on the title of this video, I said Joe Biden. It when it does when it
Oh, the order.
autocorrects itself, Joe
Oh, you put
Biden.
Joe
It's supposed to
Biden.
be Joe Button, but it wrote Joe Biden. Anyway,
Yo, Listen, Biden is on another planet right now, so he don't even need to be mentioned anywhere around this
Yeah, Joe
vibe.
Biden. We knew he was gonna make it through these 4 years. We knew that was called day one. Day one, everybody knew like, oh, he ain't gonna make it.
They tried. They
They
really tried. They
tried.
said, you know what? We're gonna put him out there, and then they realized like, no, Sleepy Joe ain't going nowhere. This
Yeah, this was a whole mistake. This man is about to topple over any fucking day now. Any
Listen, we
day.
don't wish that upon him, but you know, we wouldn't be surprised if and when it happens.
But
But yeah, yo, talk about what's going on with Joe Budden and Fat Joe because I have not been keeping up like I should be.
so Joe Budden apparently was arrested because he was found nude in his apartment complex. Um,
He was-
but according to a clip that I saw, because I didn't really get a chance to, go down a rabbit hole with that. According to a clip that I saw, he was sleepwalking. He sleepwalks, but he sleeps nude. I don't think you should
Oh,
sleep nude if you sleepwalk. You know what I'm saying? You might want to put on clothes now
yeah,
going
not a
forward
good.
if you sleepwalk. So he was sleepwalking, completely nude, and I guess he was trying to get into somebody else's house. Maybe when he realized he was, yeah. And I believe like he has a neighbor that he's already had some type of discrepancies with, and
That
neighbor's the
was
one who's reported him. Yeah. So
that
he was
was
kicked out
trite.
of his complex.
Oh,
hmm He was forced out. He was, yeah. So he can't live there no more. And his show, which was, being held there as well, I guess he had to move the set and everything somewhere else. So he's in, from what I understand, he's in one of his co-hosts' basement.
oh, okay.
Co-hosts basement, yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So this is what I learned as of about an hour ago about Joe Budden, and I'm just like, oh man, we go from Joey Crack to Joe Budden, from Joe Budden to Joey Crack. So Fat Joe,
Mhm.
I'm going on with the Joes, honey. I need a cup of Joe for this. Tell these Joe stories. So Fat Joe said some things. He was on the My Expert Opinion podcast with Math Hoffa.
Okay.
And he said some things about this group of people who call themselves the foundational Black Americans. So there is have you ever heard of the FBA?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Okay. So I've heard of them when I was on Twitter before I canceled my Twitter account. And one of the reasons why I canceled my Twitter account was because of them. Was because of them. I felt like, at the time, and I'm seeing like, okay, I feel like I kind of made the right decision because I feel like they just create a lot of divide.
Mm.
When I first came across them on Twitter, I remember seeing a whole thread about it was like an argument, a full blown argument between Black Americans and African, West Indians, Caribbean people. They were completely alienating Caribbean people from anything. Yeah. And I remember seeing that and feeling like, what is this about? And just kind of like, remembering my upbringing and for a long time, I used to defend American people because I'm born and raised here, as an American. And I used to defend American people against my family because my family used to always be like, oh, Americans are lazy. They're not educated. They don't know anything. They don't know who they are, like all types of things. And I used to defend them. Like, no, you can't say that about, because I was young. I didn't know any better. Like I knew who I was because my family always taught us our culture, who we are, where we from, what we about, what our lineage is, you know? But as I got older, I realized that a lot of the things that my family was saying was kind of true, you know, unfortunately. Um,
Unfortunately.
and they're probably gonna be in here cursing me the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently, what I'm learning is like the foundational Black Americans. This is what they're considering their lineage. This is a lineage. They're not saying they're a gang and this association affiliation. This is their lineage. This is what they're saying. Um, but back to what I was saying, like you know, I feel as I've gotten older, I feel like they might, you know, they might have been all right. They might have been correct because I feel like a lot of Black Americans didn't necessarily know who they were, what they were about, don't have any culture, so you kind of gravitate to everything and everybody. And now that you're finding out, I guess now that y'all learning something about yourselves, you are trying to take things and claim it
Mm,
for your own. Um,
okay.
but what's happening is they're saying that hip hop was founded by foundational Black Americans. Now, I don't really know how you can actually say that and pinpoint that when there are a lot of Black people that are from everywhere and don't necessarily say this is where they're from or this is where you know what I'm saying? But what they're saying is hip hop is, you know, is created by foundational Black Americans, is not Jamaicans, it's not West Indians, it's not Puerto Ricans, it's not Caribbeans, it's not none of that. Is this. And there was a documentary that was done, I forgot the name of it, but the head of this thing is Tariq Nasheed, or Nasheed Tariq, whatever his name is. He's like
Mm,
the, I guess the point, you know, the head point for this whole lineage, let me say. um, and he created this documentary which alienated a lot of hip hop artists that aren't
mm,
foundational Black Americans.
right.
Um, but to the point of Fat Joe, getting to the whole Fat Joe thing, because I was just kind of explaining like why I stopped, I got off of Twitter because I saw myself getting into a mix of something that I didn't even want to give energy to.
Right.
And again, I just really feel like this is being very divisive, because me as a kid growing up, I always got you not black, you know, you this, you that, because my last name, number one, and because of where I'm from. But I feel like my skin color says something different. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because regardless of what, like they look at me just like they look at you.
Right.
So trying to divide us and say because you're not this, you're not that, when we're all this is I believe is very foolish.
Yeah.
Very foolish.
Same.
But to the thing with Fat Joe, he was on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion, and I don't quite remember what the question was asked, but he started talking about the foundational Black Americans. He didn't necessarily know who they were or what they were. He thought they was some type of association, a gang, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But he was like, you know, these people been trying to get him to stop saying the word nigga, right?
okay.
Um, Now I kind of get it. I feel like nobody should be saying the damn word, but if we decided that we're going to take the word and embrace it, then it is what it is. If you announce it to the world and say, look, we took the word, we embraced it, and we made it a term of endearment, you cannot get mad at this point at who says it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it, because you made a proclamation to the world. Jay-Z went on Oprah and said, this is a word that we use. And Oprah is a mainly, predominantly white watch show.
Right. Right.
We made this, we turned this into a word of endearment. So everybody took the word. You have white people saying it to each other. I hear a lot of white kids calling each other nigga. What up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Mexicans, Puerto Ricans been saying this since the beginning of time though. This has been since the beginning of time. Now is interesting to see, you see Koreans saying it, you see Philippines saying, you see people from all nationalities and all types of things. I remember having a young lady stay with me who was Philippine, and she used the word religiously, and I had to shut her down. You
Mm.
know, I had to shut her down, tell her, listen, I don't really feel comfortable with you saying that word, and I don't think you should be saying that word. I shouldn't be saying the word either. So I'm not going to say it around you, just so you don't say it. That's how that went down. And she stopped saying it. She probably went back to, but she didn't say it while she was here staying with me. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Awesome.
but at the same time, it was like, who am I to tell her not to say? You know what I'm saying? Not to say.
Staying with you, you are somebody that like, yeah, you have the right to express that you're not comfortable with the
Yeah,
religion.
so I let her know. But at the same time, it's like you got. So my whole thing is my conflicting thought with this whole Fat Joe thing is at one point black people were okay with Puerto Ricans or whoever being black, right? Everybody has black lineage, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I guess because you have a problem with it's all his is I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with just him being a fair skinned Puerto Rican.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
if he was a black skinned Puerto Rican or Cuban, because he's black and Cuban, and we all know Cubans have, um, black, you know what I'm saying, black in them. I'm pretty sure if it was a darker skinned Puerto Rican or Cuban, they wouldn't have a problem with it. Or
Yeah.
maybe they would. But
I
I
don't think they
feel
would.
like I don't think they would either. You get what I'm saying? I don't think they would either. But because he's a fair skinned, Puerto Rican, but this is somebody who's been saying this for as long as I remember hearing Fat Joe come out.
Right.
But we know that we grew up with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and all type of Latin people around us who say these things. Hell, like my culture, if that's the case, I feel like if you're gonna alienate him, West Indians, Jamaicans, or types of, then you alienating me. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Because I'm not a foundational Black American. My family is not from America. I mean, I was
Mm.
born here, but my lineage is from elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's just so much controversy. It's so much divisiveness. It's so much, I feel like, hate. And I feel like it's borderline racism at the same time. Like, I'm one person, I ain't gonna front. I say it all the time. Like, I feel like black people is more racist than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I feel like black
They
people is
were,
more
they were
racist.
taught they were taught by the masters though,
I didn't
because
hear you.
and I they were taught by the masters though, because we know who perfected and mastered the art of racism, but we definitely learned way too well that negative trait over a lot of other things. I say this all the time: colorism. Like that's just racism with a different, word in front of ism. Like, and the way that we express it, like situations like that, where you see a fair skinned person use a word that a darker skinned person of the same, ethnic background would not be, like chastised for. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That
they was having an issue because they having barbershop talk. I don't know if you ever watched the My Expert Opinion podcast, but it's a barbershop setting. They're having barbershop talk. He talking how he regularly talk to all his niggas. You know what I'm saying? They sitting around, they having a conversation, so they felt like the host of the show should have shut him down. He was saying nigga too much, this and that. And I'm like, well, that's crazy because that's just how he talk.
and
That's how he
at
talk.
this
And
point,
they all sitting amongst each other as boys and they having a conversation and he's talking how he talks. So why would
Right.
they have to shut him down on that if this is how they talk to their boys? I have Puerto Rican friends. I have, you know what I'm saying? I have all types of different friends who say the fucking word. Like that's just what it is. And they say it more than us, to be honest. Like Puerto Ricans say use that shit like
That's like saying my brother, and that's
that's
like to them.
right. They use that word. I feel like I hear Puerto Ricans use my nigga, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga more than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how they talk. Like he was having a regular conversation, and they was like, they felt like the host should have shut it down. He was saying nigga a little bit too much, and it was offensive to the foundational Black American lineage. And I was just like, oh shit, like
So wait, so are they claiming this word now? Foundational Black Americans, they feel like that's their word to own and distribute usage to whomever they feel is appropriate. Because as it
well, I
is, like
guess
we were
so,
just
because look
saying
what
that.
51 Prince said. 43 to 50 million FBAs. This is in its infancy stage. You not us. Ooh.
Well, listen, my whole thing is like that word wasn't even originated by us. Like the root word, yes, because that was associated
First of
with
all, the root word was actually them. They took the word and put it on us. They were they the original niggas.
yeah,
They the original niggas. That's why
the
they get more
whole
offended when you say it to them than anything.
yeah. And the whole how it came about, like I'm not so versed, in all the details of the history, but I think it's, common knowledge that it started out as a derogatory term. And it's like, all right, we all know this, but people try to spin it, take it and say, okay, we're using it as a term of endearment now. Like you said, Jay-Z went on Oprah and said this, and it's a word that's been so ingrained in hip hop culture that across the board, whether it be white, Puerto Rican, black, hip hop artists, like you hear them say it at least at some point or another. And of course, they're gonna look at the white ones like with the most offense, like, oh, you definitely shouldn't be saying that word. But it's in hip hop. It's like ingrained so deeply now. I don't know if they could really erase it or even try at this point to erase it. And you definitely can't control who uses it. Like, and to give a word that much
Much
power,
power.
that don't make no sense.
Right.
That makes absolutely no sense. Like the
Right.
fact that we let them give that word so much power to let it affect us to this point where we're even having this discussion doesn't make sense to me because it's yes, words are important, but it also is just a word. And if you let it get you to the point where, it gets you upset, it, ruins your whole day, your whole mood, then that is a personal problem
Yeah,
at this point.
absolutely. Absolutely.
That is a
Absolutely.
whole personal problem because, it's we know where it's from. We know, how it's been used against us, in the past. But again, it's just a word. It can't hurt unless you let it. Who cares about the
I make
intent
better
behind
enter
it?
to say that again.
Whoever's using that word, that's their problem. If they're trying to use it with negative intent against you to try to, be arrogant or, try to play you, like if you're gonna let them, then it becomes your problem. But too many people are given that word like continuous power. At this point in time, I thought by now, because of how widely it's used, that people would have like already said like, all right, it's not that serious. Let's take the power out of the word and just whoever wants to use it. Me personally, I don't use it because I know the history behind it. Because I know that it negatively affects so many people and there's so many other words that you can use. Like there is a plethora of vocabulary you can use in its
A
place. But
plethora.
I love that word actually. And it's like people choose to stay on the N word for what? Knowing, knowing what it is, where it came
It
from.
has a certain punch to it when it needs to. It has a certain oomph to it when you need the oomph.
But just
You
like
know what
look,
I'm saying?
when you need to get some anger out, you drop a nice fat F bomb and it feels good to say it, right? But it's like, does it really feel good to be like, yo, my neck? Like, does that really feel that good? Because I don't know. Like I've used it in kind of like jokes sometimes. I used to hang around people that use it a lot, and how your tribe kind of like influences you in that way that sometimes it just comes out. You don't even realize, and it's like, oh wait, did I need to say that, or should I even like try to correct myself? But it's like it never felt good to say for me personally.
It's one of those things though. It's one of those things. I use the word not as much as I used to, but I use the word. And it's one of those things that it's habit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Where you don't necessarily realize, like, you don't necessarily realize that it's coming out. Happy New Year, the Brooklyn way.
Oh, what's up? What's up? Happy New Year. Well,
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it could be complete. I mean, yeah, if you do the work, and I'm talking about on an individual, in the individual stage, if you do the work to erase the word from your vocabulary, because it can be done. I'm not saying that it can't be done. It can be done.
mhm.
It's just a matter if you want to, if you
Right.
want to, and if you feel that it's um has that same effect that it did. You know what I'm saying? um, I think is definitely on an individual basis at this point, because
Yeah,
that word has been around long before I was even fucking born.
for real. For
You know what I'm
real.
saying? This is long before I was even born. That's just what it is. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just, I mean, you have a lot of Puerto Rican people who are siding with the FBA. Listen, I'm not siding with anybody. I'm just trying to understand what is everybody's whole, like, what is your goal for this? Like, what is your whole perspective on this situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you got under there? You know what? What is your whole perspective behind this? You know what I'm saying? Like, where you going? Where you going with this? What are you trying to do? Because right now, what is happening again? It's dividing cultures. It's dividing,
Mhm.
you know, demographics. It's dividing. It's like everybody's being put in this, is being compartmentalized into all these different places, and this is was
Over,
taking
over
lead.
this word, over this one
Not
word, like
only
I.
just the word, not only just the word. It had a lot to do with Fat Joe saying that Puerto Ricans, I guess, was 50% had 50% in starting hip hop.
Mm,
They have a problem with that because, again, everything hip hop culturally, hip hop, whether it's hip hop, whether it's jazz, whether it's disco, whether it's rock, whether it's blues, whether it's country, it was all started by foundational Black Americans. This is the narrative that's being said and
I
told.
mean, but for them to even try to have that kind of claim, because we know that, like, music wise, like there's a lot of influence from a lot of different countries when it comes to music. And you can't say that foundational Black Americans have that claim that they can make such a bold statement as, oh, that's ours. Like, no, no. First of all, music is nobody's. If you have the talent, if you are, just naturally gifted in that art, it's yours as an individual.
But
For any
we're in a world, we're in a time where everybody needs to claim something.
You know what? Claim
Everybody
yourself.
needs to be the first for this or the, you know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to be something. Everybody want to be seen. Everybody want to be heard. Everybody
Right.
wants to, and it's like, shut up.
Right.
It's
What's
like
up?
everybody, shut up.
Like,
Like,
it's
sit
crazy
down
because
somewhere.
everybody's trying to claim something. How about you claim yourself? Claim your gifts. Like, and for anybody that is actually not even in music to try and have that conversation. Like, really, shut the fuck up. Like, what is your
In
claim in
all
that
caps, shut
conversation?
the fuck up. In all caps, shut
Like,
the fuck
yo, like that don't even make any kind of sense. Like I understand, artists, getting together and having these conversations because it makes sense as an artist. You in the game, you got skin in the game. That you're having these conversations. It comes up, but for people not even musically inclined to have an opinion on it, really, really and truly, take this as disrespectfully as you need to. Shut the fuck up. Because it has nothing to do with them.
all the way the fuck up.
Like, yo, as it is, I really don't think that anybody, any one individual, again, has no claim over music except what they bring individually to it.
To the game.
Right. Because it is a whole game. It's for everybody. Everybody enjoys music on some level. Everybody enjoys music. So for somebody to be as audacious to make a claim like, no, that you can't do that, that's ours. Like, shut the fuck up. What? That don't make no sense.
Well, according to them, it does. According to them, it
No.
does. I definitely want to learn, a bit more. But again, from what I gathered when I was on Twitter, I didn't like it because I was just like, this is very divisive, and they sound really discriminative towards other races, which doesn't make any sense. Towards other nationalities rather, it doesn't make any sense because you're isolating Africans, Caribbeans, West Indians. You're isolating a lot of Latins who are black, you know, um, Haitians. You're isolating a whole demographic of people who are we're still all under the same umbrella. We're still all
Right.
under the same, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's
But the
like,
thing is, it kills me because people want to claim Puerto Ricans and other Spanish ethnicities as black when it's convenient to them.
thank you.
But
Thank you. That is my point. That is my exact point. It's like at any other time, no, but they're black. Their foundation is black. Their lineage is black. But now, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't like a specific person, I'm assuming you don't like a specific person and he's a fair skinned complexion. Now all of a sudden he's not. He's not of the town.
that is a completely nonsensical argument to have. Like, and as it is, I'm very tired of the flip floppers and the speaking out of convenience people. When it suits them, yeah, they're part of the group. They want to claim them, but when they feel like, oh wait, no, but here's the argument against them. Like, no, no, pick a side, pick a struggle. Don't flip flop like that. That's not how it works.
Right, and this is part of the problem why we cannot come together, as a people overall, because
Yeah,
there's just too much of a divide. There's too much of a pick a side type of thing. It's always been that. It's too much of that. It's too much of that, and we can never just come together in unity as one because of all of that. Oh well, you're
no,
black, but you're not black, so you can't.
you're
You
not
know
you're
what I'm
not black.
saying? You're not
You're not black.
right.
But here's the thing, because people don't understand that so many people, we have this mix of blood, right? Like over the years, like people have taken like genealogy tests and they've discovered like their percentage of percentages and all this stuff. Like there is very rare people in this world that are pure blooded now.
That's yeah,
So
absolutely.
they are the true minority of people. that are pure blooded, 100% in one ethnicity, that is super, super rare. So instead of trying to divide and instead of trying to have these conversations that say, "Oh no, you can't have that. That's our," like just unify and celebrate it together because we all have like so much in us that we should be open to adapting to other cultures.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
that really it don't make sense anymore. I understand at one point in time when the world was like really like 100% over here, 100% over there. Nobody's really 100% anymore. So
At all.
we don't have the foundation for that argument. Like nobody does, and especially people like you born into this generation. You especially sit down and shut up because what are you doing? Like probably got drops from almost everywhere. Like it's really really nonsensical. Come on, it's at this point it feels like they want to keep the divide going.
Right. And that's what I feel. That's what I feel. I feel like, oh, y'all don't really want to come together. Y'all want to stay separated.
If
I
they were
remember
gonna,
having a full discussion on Facebook one time. During the time Kanye West said the whole 400 years a slave comment.
Mhm.
And a lot of, black people took that very, very hard. And I remember having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine because I was like, when you think about it, 400 years is a very 400 we don't live that long.
No.
400 years. Think about
Mhm.
what he was saying. Maybe you didn't like the messenger, but think about the message.
That's a very important point because a lot of people get caught up on the
Who said it?
messenger who's saying, but are they speaking facts though?
Same
Because
thing with Fat
I
Joe. This is what I'm saying. Same thing with Fat Joe. You might not like the messenger or the way he's saying his message, but isn't he not speaking facts? You know what I'm
that's
saying?
a
Because he was saying they're being radical, radical. My bad, Luna. But he was saying they're being radical. They're being radical black racists, and it seems that way because
yeah,
of the measures you're taking to shut this man down and what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah.
not to cut you off. I just wanted to finish this point. But me and her were having the conversation, and I had to tell her like think about what he's saying. Like I get it. Nobody at the time was feeling Kanye. Now everybody back on his dick right now because you know what I'm saying. He's a genius, and he listen. Excuse me how I'm talking tonight, but I'm feeling, I'm feeling a type of way. It's the wine. Blame it on the wine. But but I was like, think about the message. Think about what he's saying. Right. 400 years is a very long time. I said, furthermore, you know, a lot of black people need to understand that not all black people came through the same struggle.
Hmm.
Not all of us came through slavery. I said, my family is of a tribe, a Garifuna tribe, who were captured by the Spaniards, but they fought. They
Hmm.
fought within 50 days. It was 5,000 Garifuna men and women who fought for their freedom, within, I think it was 50 days or something like that. They fought and got their freedom, and everybody went where they went. We landed in Honduras, we landed in Belize, we landed in Guatemala, Nicaragua, these places. But we fought for our freedom because we weren't trying to be captive for 400 years. That would have erased our whole tribe of people. I wouldn't even been here.
Mm.
I wouldn't even been here if my ancestors didn't fight.
Right.
I said, so think about it. 400 years. That's a very long time to be captive.
Yes. It is,
You know
and
what I'm saying? And
it's
that's
still.
what Kanye was saying. He was like, they let us, we let them we let them keep us hostage for 400. That's a long time. Think
Yeah.
about what he's saying. You may not like the messenger, but think about the message. Think about what he's saying. And I know the truth hurts.
It, it does
People
hurt some.
fight the truth because the truth hurts.
It does fight some people because they're not ready to embrace that truth yet. They're not ready to recognize that as fact. But the thing is, fact doesn't need you to recognize it. It is what it is,
It
and
is
it's
what it is.
on its own. This is why when I hear a message, I don't care whose mouth it's coming out of. I don't care about delivery. People get way too sensitive over delivery and the representation of who's saying it. Instead of listening to
Instead
the
of
actual
listening.
instead of listening to the actual message, are they saying facts? And if the answer is yes, then listen.
But that's the thing though. Remember, truth hurts. People don't want the truth. People
I
don't
love the
want the
truth.
truth. People like lies. People like to live under lies. People like to be victims. You know what I'm saying? They like to live under this victim mentality.
Mentality. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like
Give me the
I
truth.
I
Keep it a
have
buck.
lost. Yes, I have. I've lost whole friendships over this very thing because people can't take facts and they can't accept truth and they can't, you know, hold themselves accountable for that. They can't. And it's like, and I really like. I would feel bad for a little bit, for a little bit, because I'm like, well, did I say something wrong? And when I'm really like, trying to rationalize it, I'm like, wait, no, that was straight cold hard facts. Like maybe the delivery, I used to be like really harsh on my delivery sometimes.
So did
It's like,
I.
okay, I understand, delivery can hurt feelings, but it's like, yo, for me, it's fact over feeling any day because my feelings don't get hurt that easily. And especially if you're talking truth, I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to this. This is truth that is being spoken.
And in the truth, your feelings don't fucking matter.
It doesn't. It
In the
does
truth,
not.
your feelings don't matter. It's like, all right, that's
For
your truth. I just got to deal with that, and I'm gonna have to deal with my feelings. You know what I'm saying? But
that.
the
Take
feelings
that,
don't matter when you telling the truth.
take that, take that, take that. Because you really can't
Take that,
argue
take that.
facts. You-
Can't stop, won't stop. But for real,
oh, no, straight truth though. Like truth does not care about your feelings at all. It is going to stand on its own and it's going to, be there regardless if you can accept it or not. And a lot of people really need to get out of their feelings and just accept the facts because it's not going anywhere.
hmm
You can't feel the truth away. You can't, keep denying the truth. Like I feel like people are more hurting themselves, hurting their
and they
own
deny the
feelings
truth. Yep,
with their denials.
yep, yep.
Like, how are you
Should
gonna
have make
hurt
you
your own
sick.
feelings like that?
Should
That
have
don't
make
make
you
no kind
sick.
of sense. Because like, yo, I like when the truth hits me, even when I'm not expecting it or I'm not, I wasn't prepared for it. It's like, oh, like, sit with it for a second.
hmm
Like, okay, all right, that's real right there. Like
hmm
I love real authentic shit. And at the end of the day, like I'm gonna take it and I'm going to, whatever I have to do to fix it, that helps me as a person. That helps me grow. So why would I not accept that? Why would I not, embrace something that could help me grow? That don't make no kind of sense to me. That whole victim
Because when you
mentality,
not 10 toes down with yourself and you don't keep it a buck with your own self, you can't accept no truth from nobody else.
that part.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. If you don't keep it 10 toes with yourself, you don't keep it a buck with yourself, you lie to yourself all the time, you can't accept no truth from nobody else. You can't
That
accept no
and
truth.
a lot of
That shit
people
hurts. With
don't
somebody
understand like
telling you the
that.
truth, that shit hurts. because you done told yourself a lie about yourself.
And you know what? That sucks to be that person that does that because you just hurting yourself over and over by doing that. That you hurting yourself because ain't nobody else really gets hurt from that. They may like it may sting to realize somebody that you care about is not living in their truth and because they can't be real with themselves, they definitely ain't being real with you. So like that could sting, but
Hmm.
eventually that person's gonna move on. Especially somebody that's living in their truth, they're not gonna hold on to that, that deep. They're gonna keep it moving.
Hmm.
And then that person that's living in their lies, they're gonna repeat that cycle time
All the
after time
time. Yep. Yep. Until they figure it out.
and waste their whole life with that shit.
Until
No,
they figure out. Till they look themselves in the mirror and be like, oh damn, I've been
right.
lying all this time. When you sick and when you're sick and tired. When you're sick and tired, that's when it's gonna come to you.
But like, I have my question to those people is how, like, at what point do you get sick and tired of that? Because yo, life is way too short.
And
We've
life is getting
been
shorter and shorter. The older we get, we getting closer to our death date. The
right.
older we get, life is getting shorter and shorter. How long you gonna play the same freaking game you've been playing?
Don't
It's
make no
corny.
sense. It don't make no sense. It is super corny, super whack, and it don't make no damn sense. Like people kill me with that. Like I can't do the victim mentality. Like I've had those friendships that they saw me more as a therapist than they did a friend, where they would unload to me and vent. And it's like, I'm trying to be a good friend, and I thought that's what being a good friend was about, was just listening. But after a while, I'm like, okay, are we talking about anything else? Like, I'll be
Word.
like, oh, checking up on people. How you doing? How's your day? Just like, casual. I don't get that same in return. So once it came to the point where I'm like, all right, boundaries up. Like, if we're not talking about solutions, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Word.
And that's when a lot of people said, "Oh, word, well,"
Word.
because they don't want to hear the truth about it. It's like, you know what? There are people that they went to school for this, all right? They get paid to listen to people's problems. You're not paying me to listen to these problems. And yes, I'm gonna be a friend when it's needed, but when people take advantage of that, like take
And I'm gonna
heed.
be a
When
friend, and I'm gonna tell your ass where you fucking up. You in this situation because you put your fucking self there.
exactly, they don't want to hear
I don't
that.
want to
They
hear
don't
this
want to hear
shit. I want to
that.
hear this
They
shit.
do not
I'm
want to
talking
hear
about the
that.
same shit over and over. And I don't want to hear it.
They want to hear all about how the other person did wrong and all this, outside of themselves. Zero accountability here, but they want to hear how everybody else fucked them over. But it's like, what did you do to bring
I
this situation?
realize friends be wanting you to be that person who just always upholds their bullshit. Once you become that person who try to make them accountable, that's where things start to go
It's
awry
over.
in a friendship.
It's
Because
over.
that's where it's like, oh, you're not my friend, this and that. No, you're not a friend to yourself. How about that?
Right. Right.
You're not a friend to do better.
That's where it starts. And that's why I had to say, like, you know what? When it comes to people not being a friend to themselves, not loving themselves, not holding themselves accountable, or recognizing the truth, or running away from the truth, I don't want nothing to do there because I can't. Like, that's not for me.
Not gonna be able
Because
to do it.
no.
Yeah, it's real, it's real shit. It's real out here in the field, man. There's a lot going on. I feel like we starting to revert back to a time. I can't even say that because I don't know. I wasn't here during those times, but from what I hear, it's like this whole divide and conquer thing. I don't know. It's just it's a lot.
But
It's
this
a
is a
lot more
really
divide than conquering.
but this conversation is super old. Like to be affected by the same thing that we've been talking about, like, come on, we need to stop repeating this cycle. This conversation is too old and too done to be having this talk again. If anything, like If it was over a new word, I would say, okay, well, I haven't heard this before. What's this talk about? Like that would make more sense to me. But we already know this word. We already been here, done that, had this conversation time and time and time again.
And
And
there are
at this
no
point,
solutions. There are
no,
no
there's not.
solutions. It's the
There's
same
not.
conversation, but there are no solutions. Furthermore, people are getting further and further away from each other with all of this. That's what's
Yeah,
really happening. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And the talk about who owns hip hop or who started hip hop, it's like don't no foundational Black American own it.
Nope.
So what are we talking about? What are we
They just
talking about?
talking. They just talking just because, like you said, a lot of foundational Black Americans, they don't really have that cultural foundation or something that they feel they can claim for themselves. So now they really reaching. They really reaching for something that they can claim and hold on to. Like, oh no, well, we need something that's ours. We claim that because we can't claim anything else. Like, no, that's you know.
And then you gonna
But
claim it, you better do something about it. You better put some, put some names behind this. Own this, own this hip hop name. Do something that really is gonna mean something. But what y'all
or
fight?
right,
What rights? What brag? It's like fighting for a block you live on, but you don't own.
man,
You know what I'm saying? Like
the way people
what we
that.
doing?
At least add like right, at least add something to it. Do something different. Add your own touch to it that you can claim. Because the foundational concept of hip hop, that's not open for claim. Nobody can claim that. But if you put your own spin onto it, if you bring something new to the table for hip hop culture to say, oh, I haven't seen that or heard that before, that's different. Then you can say, you know what, we claim that. And you know what? You got that. But if they just talking about hip hop in general, hip hop as a culture, like no, you cannot have that. Sorry.
They're talking
Nobody's
about
gonna
hip
have
hop in general. Yeah, hip hop as a culture. Like, yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I want to see what's going to transpire from this. What's going to be the outcome?
that.
What do we?
There's no positive outcome from having trying to have that conversation because nobody's gonna be in agreement. Nobody is going to be in agreement of that topic. Who holds the claim over hip hop in general or hip hop culture in general? Nobody wins that conversation because everybody's going to have a difference of opinion from group to group. And I just think that that's a baseless conversation because every culture has added something to the game by now that they should be proud of. I think that everybody should celebrate each other because it's like, yo, there's been so many great contributions to the game that, like, why don't we just celebrate that? Why don't we just, you know, yo, good job on that. Yo, you too, good job on that. Like, just come together and be like, celebrate everybody's additions and everybody's contributions. Because the other side of the conversation don't make sense to have. It
It's
really don't.
always so negative too.
Yo,
It's always so negative. Everything is always so negative, and it's just like, man, why people so mad? Who's so mad? Like this is the biggest genre. Is celebrating people of all walks of life. Look where it has graduated to. You know what I'm saying? Like look at the impact that this culture has made on the world, the nation.
world. The world. You see whole ass countries influenced by hip hop in some form or fashion. Like it's absolutely a world music by now. Like, they will try to deny it. Of course, certain groups will try to deny it, but hip hop is a world genre. So it's like, yo, if different countries, you see, yo, have you seen how heavy the Asian community fucks with hip hop? Like how,
We
like,
saw that at whatchamacallit at the event we went to last, the one that you got the footage from, where they was dancing. Remember, I was like, let me see what she going to do.
oh yeah, yo,
Sony,
listen,
the
like
creative
it,
space.
they love hip hop, and you know what? I can't even be mad at them because yo, you see that the way they move, you see that the way they dance, you see how like they're showing appreciation, not appropriation. So you can't be mad at it. Like it is something that is meant to bring people together, not cause all
That's
this
what they said
division.
about Fat Joe, that he's appropriating hip hop, that he's been carried on the backs of foundational Black Americans throughout his career in hip hop. And I'm like, what's crazy? You know
They
who's in
are
hip hop? There are a lot
ridiculous.
of Jamaicans, there are a lot of Trinidadians, a lot of hip hop artists are not foundational Black. The majority of hip hop artists are not foundational Black Americans. The majority.
So
And
that
they're
tells you
mad a lot of people
something.
are not speaking up, or I guess, not. But niggas fuck with Fat Joe. See, I just said the N word.
Listen, here's my thing because that word, like I let the power, any kind of power that word had over me a long time ago.
That word
It
ain't never
just
had no power over me. I remember a white girl calling me a nigga, and I was like, "You more niggerish than me," and she was upset, and I laughed at her ass because she was acting
ah,
more. She was acting more like a fucking coon. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at you, you stupid ass. She was upset. Don't you call me a nigga? And I was like, look at you, look at you, look at you, and look at you. And she was
like,
upset.
oh, did
I
that
laughed
hurt
at
your
her ass.
feelings?
I
That
laughed
hurt
at
your
her ass. It was
feelings,
me and my sister, and
man.
we was just laughing. I was like, "See, you call it to
That's
them. Look how mad
hilarious.
they get. That shit don't have no power
That is
over me."
so bad. But you know what though? It's the case that I didn't really like growing up. I didn't hear that word like that. It's only when I started going to school and excuse me, around groups that really used it heavy. And even then, I'm like, but wait, isn't that not a great word? Or they're like, oh no, we use it, just because we trying to change the narrative. Like, oh okay. Now, mind you, if somebody calls me a bitch, I'm gonna still take that as. I don't care how hard women try to advocate for that word to be a term of endearment. No, you call me a bitch, be ready to or exchange some not so nice
Who
words
you calling
because
a bitch?
right. Queen Latifah said it best, yo. Get out
Yeah,
of here with that.
you right, because I feel like that too. Don't call me a bitch. I feel like that
Right.
too. I absolutely do. So I should feel that way about the N word too. You absolutely right. I can see the
But
correlation. I can see the correlation.
it's the case that I put those two in the same boat, but I understand that not everybody thinks like that. So I've given allowances to people. Now, when it comes to people that use it like go overboard, it's like, okay, I know the mentality behind that, so I'm not gonna mess with that person like that. But for somebody that is like, you're ingrained in a certain culture or you came up just using the word like, as that term of endearment because that's how you look at it. That's how it, came across to you, not like, knowing the history behind it or maybe learning about it after the fact that you started using it. That's different because we have to realize that people's mentalities around certain words come from how they were brought up and how it was used. So if you never had a negative connotation associated with that word, then you have no reason to believe that it's negative. But the
Right.
next person that has studied history or it's been used negatively against them, then that's different. The
Right.
mentality is going to be different there. So I understand there's going to be a lot of as you said, it's going to differ from individual to individual. So I give grace when it comes to that because I know everybody has a different kind of understanding when it comes to that.
Hmm.
But it's there's certain words that are just so concrete to me that it's like, oh, you want to fight? Oh, okay. oh, okay. go.
Square up. Square up. Let's go. All right.
And it's like,
That's funny.
you gotta have some kind of boundary when it comes to that, because like I know for a fact that when certain people, like, my people does me like, yo, what's up, my nigga? Like, they don't mean harm behind it, because it actually is a term of endearment for them. As twisted as it may be for other people.
Yeah.
You know, them trying to like revolutionize bitch. Oh, you a bad bitch. Like, no, no, don't, no. I refuse. I refuse.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting because I definitely be feeling the way about that word too. And I recently, you know what's crazy about that is that I just recently used it in a song, and I was I had hit up the producer of the record, and I was like, I want to change your line. So he was like, what line you want to change? As I was telling him, he was like, why? No, don't change it because it sound good. And I left it, but I still, when I hear it, I still be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily describe myself in that way. You know what I mean? But I left it. It works. It works for the record. But I'm just like, all right, moving forward, I really have to clean up and really say
Let's go.
what I want to say, what I'm looking to say. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times I don't necessarily curse in my music. I always try to look for a different alternative, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna fit and it don't. Cheesy or corny,
Right.
and then sometimes I be on my shit, as a hip hop artist. Sometimes you just be on your shit and it's what it is, whatever comes out. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm doing my best. I'm doing better now at being a little bit more mindful of
Hmm.
the verbiage I use. You know what I'm saying? In everything, because I know we coming into times where it's very important where we start really um educating each other, and helping each other in making better decisions. And in doing that, you have to be the example a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yo, that's growth right there. That's evolution. So be proud of yourself for,
Hell, evolution. I'm evolutionizing.
that's
I'm evolutionizing. I'm growing a little bit, day by day, a little bit.
that's and that's it. That's all, we have to do, because I can't see, I never understood somebody that was just stuck in the same place. Even if you've grown just a little bit every day, that's something. That is something to be proud of. Leaps and bounds, we want to look for, fast progress, but it doesn't work like that. Progress takes time. So I'd say to everyone, be proud of every little progress you make every day.
Word. Every little step I take.
Hey.
What Nipsey say? It's not a marathon. It's not a what?
It's
It's
wait, god damn. What's the phrase? That would have been perfect to use right now if I
it's
could
not a
remember.
something. It's a marathon. It's yeah. Like yes, it's true. It's
Yeah,
true. Every day, every little day, every day you just take a little bit more. You do a little bit more. You change a little bit more. Every
yes,
day.
a little bit more. Because like yo, my whole thing is like the one thing that I really, really appreciate about hip hop is, the wordplay. And, it takes a really extensive vocabulary sometimes to really, like, get some super dope lyrics in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's so many words to play
Yeah.
with. So when I meet somebody that is just like, they're short on words, they can't really, like, like, yo, go read a dictionary. It's not that hard. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many words.
Yeah.
So
And there's words being added every day to the dictionary. There are words being added every day to the dictionary.
yeah,
We have an urban dictionary now. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that growing up.
no, sure didn't. Like when I saw that, that's how I knew that hip hop was like bigger than they gave it credit for. Because when you have an urban dictionary coming out, it's like, oh, Y'all are really like defining these words now. Definitions
And
printed out and
who owns that? Does
everything.
the foundational Black Americans own that? Who
Absolutely not.
owns that?
The urban peoples owns that.
So, we really got to figure out what we're doing here. Instead of creating this divide, we need to be coming together. If you feel people are not educated on who you are and what you about, then you should educate people on that, on a worldwide scale, and not just attack people individually because of what you believe or what you think. There has to be some system in place where people are educating, people are learning. There has to be some type of system in place. We have to get to a place of, and we talk about this all the time, understanding. You know, we have to
Mm,
get to a place of understanding. People, we have to understand that, like you said, not everybody's mentality. We're not all there at the same time. We're not all there at the same time. It's going to take other people longer to understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? While you're there right now. So you have to be patient enough and have the willingness, if you're deciding to be this leader and taking on this lineage and being the one who's going to call out whoever you want to call out, you have to be a bit more what is the word, mindful, you know what I'm saying, and patient with those who are not necessarily there, who don't necessarily understand where you're coming from right now, because
true,
they are not there.
true
Now, if
leadership.
you're not willing to do that, then this is not the position for you,
Right. That is absolutely correct because,
because
like,
you have to be willing to educate people, not talk down on them, not talk to them, but talk with them.
right.
There's a big difference with that, and that within itself is a problem, because that's another thing. People don't necessarily know how to talk with people. People always want to talk to you, talk at you,
Yeah.
but they don't necessarily want to talk with you.
Mm,
With is us talking, having a conversation together where we're both coming to a place of understanding together. You're not
right.
just telling me what you want me to hear. You're not just saying what you think I need to hear, but we're actually having this conversation where we both can come to this place together. So there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot with words. People need to learn words, the meaning of words, because a lot of people don't understand the definition of a lot of stuff either. And people just use things and throw things out there. And it's like, did you mean to say that?
Like,
Do
nope,
you know what you're saying?
nope, nope.
So education is very important. We need to get to a place of comprehension.
Super important because comprehension is so important because combativeness has become like
Oh my
so.
God, combativeness. Girl, you speak the word.
My gosh, people are just so I'm gonna use another word, enthralled with combativeness.
Yes, to the dictionary.
They are just like they're obsessed with it at this point because it seems like it's more popular to be combative than it is to be peaceful and it is to have unifying conversations.
Yep.
I saw what was it? There was this video that came up. Like I was going down the little like YouTube video rabbit hole watching, and I forgot Charles White. Not a
Mm.
fan, but he was on this show. It was a female radio host where she was like, "Oh, we were cool and everything, and I heard you were talking bad about me behind my back," and she was confronting him. And he was like, "Well, I only say that because controversy. People seem to like that and take to it more than when you have something good to say or something positive to say." I'm like, "Yo, how twisted has this world become that talking about somebody negatively behind their back has attracted more views than positivity?"
Because people love negative shit. No, it's misery loves company.
Yo,
Misery loves company, and people love all this negative shit.
That is so twisted. That is so backwards, so twisted. One of my favorite things I like to say, my misery hates company. When I am miserable, leave
Me
me alone.
alone. That's a fact. That's a fact. Leave me alone. I do not want to be bothered. I don't want to be around nobody. Let me
Nope.
get myself out of this space. I'll see you when I see you. That's a fact.
Right. Because yo, if people understood how important energy is, and when you bring in negative energy to somebody, it affects them whether they know it or not.
Yep.
They may not know in that moment that they're being affected by the negative output of energy, but eventually it's going to manifest in a way.
Yep.
So it is super important that people start to understand, like, when you are in a negative space, stay to yourself until you can uplift somebody else. Because that's a lot of our problem. Like, people are in a negative space, in a negative energy, have negative thoughts, and then they go around other people not
And be
realizing.
around a lot of negative shit too. You be around a lot of negative shit. You consume a lot of negative shit. Everything is always on a negative like vibe. Yeah.
No, it's bad. Like, no, when I'm miserable, I'm gonna see you when my mind is right and I can bring better energy to the table, because it's not it right now. Like, and a lot of people don't want to do that because they
Mm-mm.
think
A
that
lot of people don't
being,
like to be alone.
no, they don't.
A
No, they
lot
do
of
not.
people don't like to be alone. A lot of people need a lot of people around them. They need to talk to a lot of people. They need to you need to be in the mix. Like you need the attention. A lot of people do not know how to be alone. They don't know how to
That's sad.
isolate. Huh?
That's sad. That's like,
Hmm.
I really hope that, you know, people that are in that space, that mentality, like, they learn to love themselves, like,
Yeah.
that much, where they can be comfortable with their own company. They could be
Yeah.
comfortable with, they could be comfortable with, being just with themselves. Because yo, if you don't love being with yourself, how can you truly love being with other people?
I have a lot of fun alone. I shouldn't
Girl,
have as much fun as I have alone. Turn on some
that's the
music. As long as I got some good food, some snacks, some music, something to watch, I am straight. I could sit and
yo.
write. I could sit and do whatever I want to do. I am straight. Like I don't know. I never understood people who need to be around people all the time either. You need to be
Same. Like,
outside all the time. You need to be, and you know what? Let me say this. When I was a kid, we grew up. You Caribbean. We grew up around family. Family always having functions, parties. It's always family around. My crib was always the crib. You know what I'm saying? Where all our cousins came. We always had the music. We always had the snacks. We always had the entertainment. We always had all of that. So I grew up around everything and everybody all the time. And I used to always feel like the kid that was still like, yeah, everybody's here and it's all cool, it's all fun, but I always still felt alone.
mm,
And I just rather be in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is cool. And it's funny because again, like I was the one that choreographed, I choreographed, I made up dances, I rapped. We did all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was always like the entertainment, but at the same time, it was exhausting for me. Like,
yeah.
when y'all going home? You know what I'm saying? Now I just for real, like I used to be, yeah, I was that person. It was like always around people. So I find now that I'm older, I don't want to be around nobody. Like I
Nope.
don't want to be around people. I don't like to be in the mix of nothing. I don't care for all of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to go if I have a show, I want to go, I want to perform. Let me do my thing. Let me say my hellos, my goodbyes, get my photos in, keep it moving. I don't necessarily want to be even when I go out like okay, this is cool. Let me get what I can from here, but I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just I don't care to be around, people anymore because again, I grew up around that. I'm the latchkey kid. I lived with all my family, all my cousins, and my family have big families. All my cousins, it's like 5, 6 siblings, all of us. You know what I'm saying? So there was never a alone moment in my life, really. You know what I mean? I hung out with I had a group of friends in high school, junior high. Like it was always that. And as I got older, it was like, no, I don't care to be around tons of people like that. Not at once. You know what I'm saying? Not at once. Unless it's something like a reunion or something. I ain't see everybody in a long time. Okay, cool. But all the time? No, I don't want to do that. Talk to people on the phone all the time? Every day? All day? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm in podcasting. Do I want to sit and watch podcasts all day, every day? No, I don't want to do that.
Ooh, no, no,
I'm a
no.
hip hop artist. Do I want to sit and listen to hip hop all day, every day? No, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Too much of something all the time is too much. It's just too much. I don't
So,
want too much of anything.
yo,
Balance.
balance. Ooh, balance though. When I started trying to achieve balance in as many areas of life as possible, I realized like how fulfilling that feels. Understanding the dualities of life, understanding the balance of areas that you need to take. Like too much of something is always a bad thing, as far as I'm concerned. Like overconsumption, underconsumption. Like find a nice balance of what you want and what you need in your life. And that makes the world of difference. Because taking on too much energy, giving too much energy, you're gonna be depleted either way.
Yep.
But if you have like a nice and balance of that, you give a little bit today, take a little bit tomorrow.
Put a
Balance.
little in the baggie, put a little in the purse.
Yo, there you go. Like, oh man, like when I realized, because I didn't know for a while that being around crowds drained me,
Say that
and
again. You didn't know for a while what?
that being around crowds drained me, being
Yes.
around large groups of people. And it was because, like, when I step in, when I go anywhere, I'm bringing my authentic energy with me. I'm giving you some real dope energy, the dopest I can provide. That is what I'm giving. And that depletes you. When you do that time and time again, you are depleted. We are walking batteries.
Yep.
You have to recharge.
Yep.
Got to recharge. So when I was doing that too much, when I was giving out too much energy, and I was just like, I felt dead. I felt like just being in the bed, I couldn't move. I'm like, why do I feel so tired?
Hmm. You see,
Need
for
that.
instance, just the other night at the show, you see, I sat with you for the whole night, and I had my family there. I had people there, but please, y'all, stay away from me. Just you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because it becomes a lot. People start asking you a lot of questions. I'm in a zone right now. I need to let me get in my space to prepare for what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, it's just like, okay, everybody, everybody stick to your corners. I'll see you when I make my rounds. Like, I don't. I just I'm here with Luna. Me and Luna, cool. I'm gonna sit right here and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just chill, right? Just chill. I'll see everybody else when you know what I'm saying. Just give me my minute. Like, I don't know. I just nowadays it's just I don't need too much.
Yeah, same.
I don't need too much.
So it's very peaceful, and some quiet. Like, of course, like to play little music, but now like I've grown so much appreciation for silence.
So have I.
Yo, because it is a noisy ass world. Just on a day to day basis, you hear sirens going, you hear people fighting outside, you hear like all this mess going on in the outside world. But when it comes to silence, I'm like,
I think I'm gonna become a cranky old lady because sometimes now when I be hearing noise, I be like, God, that's loud. Put that down. What is that? Who's making that noise? Like, geez. Even now with my headphones, I put my headphones in my ear. Got to be at a certain volume now. I'm like, ooh, what's going on
Yo,
with you, girl?
listen, and they think
Because
about how
before we used to blast some shit.
yo, you know how they say like, your hearing deteriorates as you get older, but I don't know. I'm starting to question like maybe it gets more sensitive or
I think it
like
gets more sensitive, but I always kind of had a bad ear. One of my ears is not the best. So, but I still listen to my shit mad loud. Nowadays, though, I'll be like, that is too loud. Let me put this down a little bit. Ooh, I need to hear what's going on around me. I'm feeling like a straight old lady. Like, oh shit, bitch, you get old. You
yeah.
get older.
It- You know what? I really like getting older. Like, despite everything that we were told when we were younger, like, oh, getting older sucks. Yeah, you get some aches and you get some pains and your body changes over time and all that stuff. Yeah, but if you really love yourself, you'll roll with it. If you really love your body, the temple that you walk in, you will adjust with those changes. And you will
I say the same thing. I was telling my guy, like, I'm I feel good that I'm getting older. Like I'm not ashamed of my age or where I'm at in life right now because I couldn't have been here. You know what I'm saying? It was a point in time where I might have been wiped out. You know, so to be here at this point, at this age, being able to look back at a lot of things and be like, aha, that's
yes,
why that happened. That's
yes.
why I went through that. That's why, you know what I'm saying? To recognize the different stages and steps in life like that, like being here at this point to see that, like, damn, that's dope.
It is super dope. It is super like yo, the whole person that I would like the previous versions, I look back at them and I'm like, I'm so appreciative to just like be in this space where I can say like, yo, that's not even me anymore. And like I could actually see the change in myself and feel it. Like, yo, it is an amazing feeling.
For real. And I like it. It's like, oh, you a grown ass woman. You're like, you a grown woman. Look at you doing grown woman things. Thinking like a grown woman. You know what I'm saying?
It is amazing.
That shit
It
is
is.
sexy within itself. Like that shit feel good. You like, yes, bitch.
Touch my imaginary hair behind my ear.
For real. So yeah, it's a dope feeling. It's definitely a dope feeling. Like, you know, getting older, just being able to revel in life now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
for that.
When we're young, we're kind of stupid in that sense where we don't know how to really like appreciate the little things and have that gratitude that is very necessary to even be able to take you to better places. So yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Gratitude, boy, gratitude. That's a it's a wonderful feeling. Being in a place of grace, wonderful feeling.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Mm.
I'll take that. Keeps you light on your feet.
Yo, the way I be moving weightless though, like even when it does feel like some heaviness accumulates, it's like it's not like how it was before where it would just stay there. It kind of just
Right,
falls off so naturally now, and it's like,
right.
oh, okay, I feel so
Yep.
light around.
Because that's when you exude gratitude. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When you exude gratitude, everything else is just like, all right, it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? But
very
that
much is.
grace, that good feeling, that's there. It's there.
See, this is what the FBA should be talking about. Not some dumb shit about who owns hip hop. Like, come on,
Yeah, let's
don't
get it together, FBA. Let's get it
get it
together.
together.
Because we can
Like,
definitely we could be allies. You know what I'm
yo,
saying? We could be allies. Instead of just, alienating us, we can be allies.
absolutely. And you know what? I'd say this that's a formula that could work on a global scale. People don't realize like this whole like war shit is just so pointless when everybody brings like something great to the table culturally that can be shared and appreciated, and instead they just fighting. They just fighting about it. Like,
I don't know. I guess we'll see what comes of this in time. Um, we'll be back here next Wednesday, and if I have more news, and then I will share, and of course,
yes,
share my
yes,
opinion and what I think and what I feel about it. But yeah, I mean, listen, everybody, is we in a critical time in life where we need to bring it together instead of pushing us more further apart. We need to be coming more together. So let's think about this on a positive note. There's always another perspective, and maybe we should go to the other perspective. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at things in a negative light, let's bring some positivity to
yes.
this stuff. Everybody talking about energy and positivity and all this, but people are exuding nothing but hate.
Yo, and it's crazy because we're taught that everybody has these differences, and your differences are what make you beautiful. But at the same time, that's what people are fighting over. Make it make sense. Make that make sense because it don't. It never will. You can either love the differences or you hate them. You
Word.
know, I would say don't hate them because that's what makes people them.
Yeah.
If we walking around all the same, which it seems like people do, but nobody really wants,
Yeah.
it's
It's just, yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is what we have in these conversations for. You know what I'm saying? Y'all join us every Wednesday so we can have this dialogue, and and leave y'all comments in the comment section. And if you ever want to come and join us on this live, then say that too. We'll have no problem bringing you on and joining us in this live. We're not above being educated if there's something that you feel we said wrong, and we're not above um pretty much correcting ourselves if need be.
please
But
do.
we're pretty much talking from an opinion based place. We don't necessarily know the facts on this whole situation. We're learning just like everybody else is learning. So if there's somebody in there who wants to educate us and not talk down on us or talk at us and talk with us, then feel free to hit us up.
That part is
Girlpodcaster@gmail.com.
absolutely, absolutely welcome. Productive conversations. That's what we about here. It's,
So
it's,
that sounds
it's
like a topic for girl. Our next, FB, this foundational Black American might be a topic for girls. So we might have to have this conversation because I know for a fact that I don't necessarily know any foundational Black Americans like in my circle. Everybody I know is of somewhere. We might be first generation Americans,
right.
but our families are definitely from somewhere. So,
And you
um,
know what? Chances are, if enough of them look far enough back, they will probably
they
find.
are as
Oh,
well.
oh wait, you're
Yep,
not
they
one of them
are as well.
too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I'm like I won't claim a FBA, but I am definitely a first generation American.
Right. Same.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think we should continue to have this conversation, and if there's any way possible that we can get Mr. Tariq Nasheed, I'm just hope I'm not messing up his name, come have the conversation with us, that would be dope.
That would be interesting.
Hey Tony, do you know Barry McConnell or Mike Latoris? Those names sound crazy. No, I don't. Why? How you doing, Chris? Do I know you? Who is this? That's asking me that. But those names doesn't. They don't sound familiar. No. But we were actually just getting ready to say
So,
goodnight.
but definitely, please leave a comment. On the actual video, not in the section here, but like once the video closes out, leave a comment, and we can definitely revisit that because this is something that is probably necessary to talk about on a regular basis and revisit because yeah, it's what do you say? It's 43 to 50 million.
FBAs,
Yeah, so
and
you
he
know,
says in its infancy stage.
And that alone, because you know what, is a lot of people are being born thinking that they're an FBA, but it's just because maybe they're disconnected with their families that they don't realize that they're not.
Yep.
Crazy Moorhead, no. Students, I don't know.
I don't know who these people are that you're asking me about.
But you know, if they are, you know, relevant to the conversation, you definitely, you know, be
Yeah, why are you asking? Who are these people? Is there something I should know?
yeah.
But again, leave a comment. You can leave the information if there's something that you need us to know. You can leave the information in the comment section of this video. Once we post a video, just leave a comment there. And if there's anything that I can help you with as far as that's concerned, then I will. But as of now, I don't know who these names that you are putting out there at all. But I guess you're asking me this for me to do some type of research, maybe. So I'll do that.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. And
Yeah,
you know, revisit that for the next live. We'll, you know, bring that back up. But yeah,
I can do that. That's not a problem. So thank you again, Chris, and shout out to everybody who came into the chat tonight. We appreciate y'all.
thank you, thank you.
And again, follow Girl Podcast official right here on YouTube. Yeah, and then join the conversation, y'all. Y'all can follow us on Instagram. I'm ToniSteelz on Instagram, ToniSteelz.
And I'm Luna Pearl NYC on IG. And yeah, definitely tune in. Episode 3 is coming out very soon. And yeah, we got a lot more dope conversations coming, including conversation with my girl here. When I'm
Luna
rolling.
interviewed me, y'all. Luna interviewed me. I've been interviewed before, but that was a good interview. You asked questions. I don't think anybody really asked me.
Really? Well,
Yeah. Yeah. People don't usually delve into like, who I am as an artist.
but
People
that's
just kind of
be
want to
an
know
artist.
who I've worked with, who I want to work with, like things like that. It's never really who I am as an artist. So I appreciate that interview and I can't wait to see it.
Yo, I appreciate you, you know, like, you know, being vulnerable with me and the people of Girl because we want to know, well, I want to know specifically, you know, who Tony Still is as an artist because I think that, you know, what goes into your art, that is very, very important. You know, who you work with is cool and everything, but, you know, what you actually, how you do your art that's what makes it great. So yeah, definitely wanted to know that. I want the people to know that. I want the people to, you know, see you, see Tony Steels and hear the dopeness behind it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
That's coming to episode
So
4.
yes, season 2, episode 3, y'all, is coming shortly. So y'all stay tuned for that. Again, Girl Podcast official. Follow right here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Girl Podcast official. And yeah, you already know we are outside. It's Tony Stills.
Miss Lena Pearl.
Yeah, girl. Listen, happy 25, y'all. We are going up this year.
Yeah, you know,
So y'all stay tuned with us.
it's coming. You know, a lot of dope stuff is coming. So plug in, subscribe, and like and comment. You know, on the actual videos,
On the
not just.
video, please on tanks. Please on tanks.
Yo, it's another dope live. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate everybody that stopped in and everybody that commented. So,
And I shall see you, boo. Talk to you later.
talk to you soon.
Later.